I think the worst thing I said at the regional was, wait, judges get paid? Alright, so I just came back from my very first regional and my very first experience as a judge, and words cannot describe how nervous I was, but also how excited I am to talk about this whole event. And if the audio doesn't sound bad, that's because I finally have a mic. I actually invested in the mic finally came in, so now I can actually do a lot more videos. I can do a lot more topics now. I can use my real voice. I'm not speaking into the computer's mic now, so I'm looking forward to using this mic now. Alright, I believe we are ready for a proper introduction. Hello, my name is Matt Rodriguez. I'm a level 1 Konami judge. I play Master Duel a little bit too much. I mostly play it for charity. I like to stream it very often. I'm also part of the demo program, which means I get to travel to a lot of events and host events at locals and get more people into locals, whether they're new players or more younger players. I like to do giveaways to help them stay in the game, as well as also maintain themselves while being in the game as well. For the uninitiated, I am the #1 cheerleader for the Yugioh community. I am also my local community's personal soccer mom. Happy Father's Day, by the way. I'm everybody's hype man. I congratulate you on every achievement, and I tell you guys every single time you should celebrate every single accomplishment you guys do, no matter how small, because you guys are absolutely amazing. Real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to basically everyone who was there. I got to meet a lot of people there. I got to see you guys for the first time. A lot of you guys said that you were going to be there as well. I got super excited. One thing I do want to say is I want to just thank all the judges, all the fellow judges there, everyone who was playing in the event, and people who knew me personally, because as of January 4th, 2024 this year, I went through what is pretty much the darkest part of my entire life, which culminated into January 16th, where I was at a very near fatal point in my life, leading up all the way to March 31st of this year. So I do want to thank every single one of you guys for checking up on me every single round, saying, how am I doing? Am I doing all right? Because I had an absolute blast, and I think you guys all made this event perfect. Needless to say, I was super scared and terrified going into the event, but I'm lucky I got pretty much all my judge rulings correct, which I'm super thankful for. The only time I actually almost got a ruling incorrect was when someone poorly worded their question in regard to low. They were just asking if they can use the graveyard effect if they use infinite impermanence or effect veiler, and yeah, you can still get the graveyard effect. I'm very thankful a lot of my judge calls were very simple questions. Most of them were just, can I go spell a card? When do I choose the modes for triple tactics? How do floodgates work? Why is this card really good? Why can't I negate the activated effects of those things, but I can negate the effects of melodious monsters? Can I ghost ogre this? Can I ghost ogre this? Can I ghost ogre this? How do maintenance effects work? Alright, so now we can talk about the most scariest part of the whole day. Round 1 of the whole event. So what happened in round 1 was there was one player who was not a native English speaker. Does that mean we have to ban them and they can't play in the event? Now, round 2 is when people started to cause real confusion and delay.
Then there was trouble. Let's try this one!
Despite popular belief, you can use a Yu-Gi-Oh playmat, or a Magic playmat, or a Pokemon playmat, or a Force of Will playmat, or a Duel Masters playmat, or even Konami Contraband playmat, even a playmat with the anime voice actors playmat. You can even use a 2-player cloth playmat. I know at the very end of the breach was the one thing I really wanted to do was I wanted to congratulate Phil for going undefeated with Salamangreat, but I know because of I was a judge at the time, I just couldn't congratulate you guys or say how good you guys are doing. I almost got in trouble for that.
You just can't use those.
I do
really
want to
nasty
say
playmats. I mean,
we did come
on,
really
it's
well
basic common
so I just
sense.
want to congratulate all of you guys. If you guys haven't already got someone to do a deck profile for you, I really would like to do a deck profile for all you guys. I think you guys did fantastic. I just want to say thank you once again for 7x7 for being just a really strong area for Yu-Gi-Oh. Alright, so now I can actually explain this guy. I would call him Billy Bob, but Billy Bob is the name of one of my other cards. Alright, so what happened was a lot of players when they pre-registered, they got their packs and they pretty much only pulled bulk, and one guy just sort of pulled this and said, hey, do you want it? And I just took him for a ride. And then I also got him also for the ride. Alright, so now we get to talk about I've been on YouTube for 1 whole month. And honestly, even though I didn't really delve super deep into it, I gotta say I'm very impressed with the analytics and the results of how the channel's been doing. I know I've been super busy with like a lot of things going into like judging and whatnot, but I'm just very impressed with how things turned out. I once again do want to thank you guys. I know one thing I don't do normally that other people do is like, say like, comment, subscribe. I don't like to do forced engagement with you guys because that feels kind of manipulative. I also don't really beg you guys to subscribe, or there's no Patreon or anything. I'm not gonna really get into too much detail of what I do for money, but there's never gonna be a Patreon. There's never gonna be me asking for money from you guys. If there's ever I ask for donations or anything, it's just mostly for whatever charity or fundraising I'm trying to do. That's the only ever time I would ever ask you guys for money. First off, I'm glad you guys like the meme compilations. There isn't going to be one this week because, I was busy at the regional and I just kind of got back. I didn't really have a lot of time. I was mostly trying to prep and everything. But for the most part, I'm glad you guys like these. One thing I did get from a lot of people were they don't like the text-to-speech thing. I don't either, but it's just kind of a given for the genre. The other thing is a lot of people have complained and asked me, hey, why is there no anime or manga memes? It's because I'm just here for Yu-Gi-Oh! The game. I'm not here for Yu-Gi-Oh! The fandom or anything like that. Now that I have a mic, I can actually go into more meta discussions and topics and whatnot. For the most part, I do want to talk about, I wanted to talk about Melodious, but now I'm going to talk about Salamander just because it won a Richmond Regional for the third time. But at least fire decks keep winning, so I'm at least happy with that. The reason why I don't use the text-to-speech thing for these kind of videos or these kind of shorts is because they're actually related to the TCG and they're not related to the anime or the games or the TV show or anything or the comics. This is actual real Yu-Gi-Oh! And I can't wait to talk more about Yu-Gi-Oh! The bulk of my videos are actually just a lot of these YouTube shorts of like the so-and-so at full power. I originally made these so people can kind of look at them as a reference to the anime and go, hey, if I like to play as this character, I like to cosplay as this character, how good would this be in the actual practical game? So I'm going to go over each and every single one of them. The Yugi one did not do that well because I posted it at a pretty bad time, and for the most part, this was a double upload because it was originally a video, and because it was too long, and then I made it into a short. That's when it cuts off kind of abruptly, and because it was a double upload, YouTube kind of messed up the analytics, so it's just kind of stuck like that at like no views now. The Weevil short was definitely the most interesting one to work on because when it was finished, it had like 7 likes and 5 dislikes, and I was like, why do people not like this one? So I had to go on social media and defend myself and explain, hey, insect monsters are actually pretty cool. Ragnaraka is pretty cool. They're kind of like a tri brigade with reptiles, plants, and insects, and I was like, oh. And then one guy pointed out to me, hey, you didn't mention Trap Tricks, and I'm like, yeah, Trap Tricks seems like a Weevil thing, and trap cards are also pretty dang good. So eventually it did kind of turn around and resulted in a pretty good ratio. I'm also glad the Mako one did really well. I think this is everyone's favorite, and this one was also my favorite because water is my second favorite attribute in the game. It also helped that Jesse Cotton eventually made a video talking about Umi control, so I was like, yay! I lucked out. It was just the funniest thing. It was just a funny coincidence. So there's a little bit of funny stories with each of these little shorts. For those who know, the Rex and Bandit Keith one were the first 2 I made. The Rex one, I had no kind of direction with it, and I'm glad you guys liked it. Just because I like dinos as well. The Bandit Keith one was a little bit of a mess because I was frustrated with that one because I finally figured out how to do custom thumbnails, and I was just like, it was already too late. I'm like, I'm already done with it. I'm just gonna upload it. The one that was most interesting to me in retrospect is the Paradox Brothers one because at the regional there was a guy who was very close to bubbling and getting his invite with Gate Guardians. I know a lot of people like to be bums and say, it's not a real top unless you make top 8, unless you get a playmat on deck box, but as far as I'm concerned, getting your invite from a regional with Gate Guardians is an accomplishment in itself, so I do need to reassess what I thought about Gate Guardians. The Kaiba and Pegasus ones I kind of knew weren't going to do so hot, because I know these are huge fan favorite characters, and they were like, oh no, Toons and Blue Eyes have to be good, because the anime, and they're just not that good. I'd rather play Toons than play Vanilla Blue Eyes any day, to be honest. So, funny story. Twitter thread Thursday just started with someone texting me a common thread on Twitter or something. And I was like, oh man, you can already tell, like, all the bad Yu-Gi-Tubers are going to make terrible content like this. And the name Twitter thread Thursday is a reference to a certain particular terrible Yu-Gi-Tuber. But these eventually just turned into, like, I like to talk about gossip and make, like, little meme videos that aren't, like, too vulgar. So, it just, I get to put my thoughts out there for certain topics, which I think are super irrelevant, but, like, not petty enough to be ignored, Alright, the big one. This video is really bad. So once again, to specify, January 4th and January 16th were very traumatic parts of my life, and I know, like, around May-ish, I was still, like, kind of coming down with the funk, because it wasn't until, like, the very start of April where I was beginning to, I guess, get back in the swing of things of, like, living a life again. So I know I was still out of it. Like, if you hear my voice compared to, like, what I was then, I was just frustrated. I hated using my computer as a mic. The editing was really terrible. It looked like a slideshow. It did get better at the end, but no one watched it. The main reason why no one really liked it was because everyone was all like, "No, Kaiba's really good. Didn't you watch the anime?" Or "Yami Yugi is the best character because he's the pharaoh." And I was like, I don't watch the anime. I'm making it as if, you know, we're playing like the old school OCG rules, because they play by the old school OCG rules. If you played Forbidden Memories or Dark Duel Stories, you're pretty much getting Duelist Kingdom. But I mean, no one really cares. They were just like, I like Kaiba, or I like Pegasus, or Kaiba Boy, or, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, this video is pretty bad. Now that I have a mic, I can finally finish the ranking them at full power, and I'm gonna be more enthusiastic since I will actually be talking about the card game. You know, because I think the biggest thing about the Duelist Kingdom video was I just hated talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh anime and manga, because that's just not Yu-Gi-Oh. The card game is actual Yu-Gi-Oh. That's what I want to talk about. Also, now that I do have a mic, I am planning on working with other YouTubers for collab works. I'm gonna be traveling a lot more, so videos will kind of be coming out a little bit more slower than usual. That's why I do like that I'm going to be doing a lot more YouTube shorts. But other than that, thank you for watching. This video is long enough in my opinion, and I hope you guys have a great start to your week, because it is Sunday, and happy Father's Day to all you guys.